Jeffrey here again of Old American Iron. I found more pictures of where the speeder came from. If you saw the speeder in an earlier video. This was an auto salvage yard that had been cleaned out, and the only reason I found the speeder is because the town had closed the road that went in front of the auto salvage yard for a local business, and they built a new one behind the salvage yard, and from that road I spotted this speeder. So the quest began. Here's a close up of the speeder. As you can see, the sheet metal is quite bent up, but it's all there. The engine is missing and the dipper stick is missing, and I was thinking to myself, what on earth do I want this for? But I couldn't get it out of my mind. Here's a picture of the other side of the speeder. See the large tree growing up next to it, and you can see the door for the operator, where the operator would enter it. And as I said, I couldn't get it out of my mind, and I did some more thinking and searching, and I found a power unit in another excavator which was completely junk at another salvage unit. So I purchased that because I had the whole power unit, clutch, radiator and everything to put in, and I thought I would put it in here. So I decided to contact the owner and see about purchasing the speeder. After more thought, and I decided I would purchase this because I had found the power unit for in it, and I decided that the homemade shovel front that was for the Buckeye crane I could put on front of this, seeing the dipper, stick and bucket were missing for this. So that's what finalized my decision to purchase it. And here you can see I had started to jack it up, and after I had it blocked up completely in the air, then I took the drive chains off and I hooked onto the tracks to get them to turn freely before I would try and move it. Here you can see when I was first going to try to move it. If you look closely, there's a cable on the hook to the front of the box that goes down to a sheave behind the cab of the truck and then out through the back, because I had figured there was some way to get some very strong pulling with the hoist on the truck. The truck was anchored to a tree, and then the cable was anchored directly to the frame of the speeder, and it was a very hard pull, so I had to try and figure out something else to make it move a little bit easier. I re-hooked to the top of the tracks, as you can see here, and hooking like this, then lifting with the hoist, it had enough to pull the speeder from its resting spot. So I could only move it a few feet at a time until I got it out into the open. Here you can see it out in the open, and from that point I had to pull it up the hill towards where I'm standing with the camera before I could head out off the property. Here you can see how I devised to pull the speeder up the hill using the C60 for power. It's a 5-part line, and I had it anchored to a tree at the top of the hill. So with every pull all the way down the hill with the truck, the speeder would only come 1/5 the distance I traveled with the truck. So I had to rehook quite a number of times, but I eventually got it pulled to the top of the hill. This is just another shot of the speeder as it slowly moved up the hill as I pulled down the hill with the C60. Here's a shot of the speeder after I got it home to my yard. You can see the room was missing the dipper, so I decided not to use that and decided to use the, as you can see here, the homemade shovel front that was originally built for the Buckeye. I thought about putting the dipper stick on the original boom of the speeder, but I thought I would leave the homemade shovel front intact and put that on as a tribute to the men who ever built it. And here's one more shot of that homemade shovel front. It was a manufactured bucket, probably from an old steam shovel, but the rest of the shovel was homemade. And thanks once again for watching. I'll have more videos coming.